Hallelujah.
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 God bless all of you this morning. It shall be well with you in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
As you rise up with a shining sun, you come here waiting to be revived by God. May the Lord of Lords, the King of Kings, may He revive you.
Amen.
May your heart be revived. May your body be revived. May you be able to understand and dine and wine in Jesus Christ. May His blood be your blood. May His blood cover you for the rest of the week, for the rest of the year.
Amen.
May you be under His canopy and be in the secret place of the Most High. The Lord will continue to bless you.
Amen.
Amen.
You know, culturally, one of the most difficult things that when we taught that we don't do very well is to wait. Waiting is just not permitted in this culture. I used to smile to myself. I'm still struggling to get to the office at 10 o'clock. And when I get there at 10:50, somebody that is supposed to see me at 11 is already there at 10:30. And sometimes the one that is waiting at 11, that's supposed to come at 11, is already there at 10:15. And then the one that is supposed to be at 10:30 comes at 10:45, and then I'm like, who am I seeing first? You know, and then before you know what's going on, the one that is supposed to be there at 12 is already there at 11:30. So I have some disgruntled people waiting, and I'm asking myself, what am I doing wrong? The point is, our brain is so programmed to be there on time, to be punctual, to wait for nobody. It's an insult to wait because you get yourself there early. Culturally, it is not permissive. It is an abysmal negativity if you have to wait for somebody. But I'll tell you one thing. Today, I want to show you that there is one situation that it's probably what you're with. If all situations are difficult to wait, you know, we even have drive-through. It's called drive-through banking, right? Drive-through school. That drive-through school now. Drive-through churches with the speaker blaring out. You just sit in your car and listen to the sermon. Well, they are drive-through wedding. My bishop got wedded. You know, my bishop got the wedding in a drive-through church. And before, you know, the mother could get to the site, they were already married. And so she was upset. The mother who said, well, what you're wearing today should be the best, despite the fact that you've chosen to go through this drive-through wedding. I'm going to bring more clothes, better clothes for. So off she went on that Saturday, very early, 7. She went there before the stores were open. She got 2 beautiful clothes for the bride and the bridegroom. And she was coming with the clothes as the car was being driven off the drive-through. No matter, they got upstairs in the hotel and they exchanged feast. Feast were flying. Blame were all over the place. Everybody was annoyed. Hallelujah. Our culture does not wait. We have drive-through consultation, you know. You just say, what's wrong with you? You type it. You can actually do it, boom, boom, boom. And you have a doctor come in, and you see it, without touching you, without feeling you, he's coming up with 60 diagnoses. I'm like, this doctor must be a genius without seeing you. He's already coming up with the recommendation and treatment. We have drive-through pharmacy, right? Or you just have to pull through. Of course, we have the Mr. Biggs, the McDonald's, Burger King. We went to New Jersey and we were driving through. We lost our way twice because he was hungry and I didn't want to have him disgruntled because he had been with us the whole day. So we missed our way one time, then we missed our way the other. We finally found it. And at 11 p.m. or 12, they were still open. And I said, we're the only one driving through. I said, after us, they're going to shut down. As we pulled in, I saw 6 other cars pulled behind us. I said, oh my gosh. There's drive-through everything. We get there early. We don't like to wait. The title of the sermon is Waiting for God. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's the best thing you are going to be able to do. Hallelujah. Even though we've been conditioned not to wait. And you know what? Don't you think this has gotten into our spiritual life too? It has. It has gotten into our medical life, into our every life. We have a population that is not patient. Patience is not a virtue. They give you one shot. You don't get it one shot, they're out shopping somewhere. Actually, as they're seeing you in the office, they're shopping to see somebody else right there. I said, what are you looking at your phone? You know, it's already contacting somebody else is going to see after me. He said, well, you know, what? Just in case I don't get it right, is flying out to that place to be able to compare and contrast. Waiting is a virtue. And when it's for the Lord, it's even a significant more virtue. Waiting for the Lord is worth it. It's the best thing you are going to be able to do. Contrary to expectation, what do? We fly. You've seen them driving. I thought it's only New York that people fly. But even now, people are flying. You go to Allentown, you go around here, they're flying past you. They're honking. You've seen it before. They honk. Boom, boom, boom. You know what they do? They go to the fast lane and they start to flash you. Almost blinding. It's like, get off my... I'm just trying to survive here. I'm trying my best. You know what? My best is not enough for them because they're so impatient. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Now, what am I saying? Jesus' time is the best time. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And this time may not be your time. Waiting is a virtue. And the best thing you're going to ever be able to do in this world is to wait for Jesus. Even though when it makes sense not to wait, it's worth your wait on the long run. You know, after they saw me, they said, oh my gosh, within 2 days after seeing you, we felt better. I said, it is not me, it is the person that walked through me. Well, they said, that person is very smart. I said, it's not a person. It is Jesus. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And you know what? They said, we'll wait for you regardless. We'll pay for it regardless. Because it's worth the wait, is worth the pay. That's my point to you today. If you have anything you're talking about, if you have anything you're thinking about, I want to told myself, that the wait is worth it. It is definitely a wait that you will not regret. Is it painful to wait? Sometimes, because our condition is our brain is conditioned not to do so. So it sounds painful. But if you wait not in flesh, but you wait spiritually and anticipate the touch of God and anticipate the power of God, then you'll be able to understand why it makes sense to wait for him. Jesus' time is unbelievable. If you go to that 2 Peter 3, it goes there in 7 and 8. 7, 8, 9, 2 Peter 3, 7, 8, 9. It just goes straight to the heart of the matter.
The heavens and the earth which are now preserved by the same word.
Yes.
And are reserved for fire until the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. But beloved,
do
not forget this one one thing.
Don't forget this one thing.
That with the Lord, one day is as 1,000 years.
Do you see? One day is like 1,000 years.
And 1,000 years as one day.
So one day is what? It's like one. So one day to you, one day to him. So we have to get it right. One day to the Lord. It's just one day. It's like 1,000 years to you. And you now see how many days it's going to be to you for it to be half a day to the Lord. Do you see? So half a day to the Lord is 500 years to you. So to the Lord is only waiting for a second to answer your prayer. We are all in trouble already. Because listen to this, if one day is 1,000 years to you, 1 microsecond, 1 millisecond to him, maybe 3 or 4 days, 5 days, maybe I don't do the math, maybe 6 days for you. And you know what? It's just a twinkle of an eye for God. And yet you're already desperate. You're already screaming. I put myself in this category as well. Sometimes I'm like, what is going on? I want it, and I want it now. And I want it despite any situation. You know why? Because the timing is different. 1,000 days it is to you. So 500 days is half a day. And if you do 250 days, it's a quarter of a day. So you can't wait for a quarter of, to him, it's just a quarter. If you break it to milliseconds, it goes to hours and seconds. It's difficult for us to wait for. Let me tell you, he waited on the cross for you. He waited throughout his time to help you. Waiting for him should not be all that complicated for him to do the best. When he does the best for you, when he does for you, when you are healed by God, you are healed completely. When you are fixed by God, you are fixed completely. When the Lord buys for you, he buys completely. When you have him in any situation, he is the paragon of perfection. There is no ifs or buts or what or how about how God works. He works miracle, he gets it right. His square hole takes a square peg. His round hole takes a round peg. He doesn't put a square peg in a round hole. God never does that. Go watch it. He gets it right, he gets it well, he gets it correctly, he gets it perfectly, and he gets it completely. When you are healed by God, you are healed completely. Hallelujah. When he makes you happy, he makes you happy completely. Look at the story of Sarah. Abraham was called when he was 75 years old. There was 14 years between the time when Abraham was called and when Sarah got pregnant. Hallelujah. So if you look at the genealogy, the way they wrote it, Sarah actually got Isaac when she was already 90 years old. Because the journey took about 14 years. And she was younger than Abraham. Can you imagine somebody waiting to have a kid for 90 years? How old do you think Anna was when she got Samuel? 70 years old. 70 years old. She was already a great grandmother and she got a kid. Lord does not suffer you. The Lord does not believe in suffering anybody. His calculation is just different. Heavenly times is different from worldly times. Hallelujah. It's a longer time here, it's a smaller time to him. So when he's not listening, because sometimes I say, Lord, why aren't you listening? What is going on? What am I doing wrong? Guess what? The Lord tells me overnight, you're not doing anything wrong. That's the way he wants it. You have to get through this to be long-suffering in order for you to know the worth of what you're doing. If he doesn't let you get that worth, then it's going to give it to you. Guess what you're going to do? You're going to throw it right out of the window because you don't have any use for it. You don't understand how to use it. So what does it say in that 8? Yeah, 2 Peter 3:8. 2 Peter, you have it.
3:8.
Yes, 2
But
Peter.
beloved, do not forget this one thing.
Yes.
That with the Lord one day is
With the
1,000
Lord,
years.
as 1,000 years
1,000 years is one day.
is one day. 1,000 years is one day. Number 9.
The Lord is not slack.
He is
concerning
not
his
slack.
promise.
Do you see? Do you see? Do you see? For all of you wondering what is happening to this, what is happening to us, why is this not so, why is this not so? What does the Lord say? He said it's not what?
Does not
It's
delay.
not what?
It
It's,
does not delay his
it's
promise.
not, it says it doesn't delay what?
His promise.
His promise. In your edition, Carol, it says what?
But is long suffering
Yes.
toward us, not willing that any should perish.
Yeah, in this one, it says it's not slack concerning his promise. What does it say in your edition?
He says it's not slack.
It's not slack. So it's not slack. It's not slack. So the Lord does not deliberately punish you. He doesn't hold it like very slackly. It's not wishing to make you suffer. This is just his time, and he looks at what time is best for you. Hallelujah. He applied to become a director of a place, and the current director was doing very well. When he applied for that position, they told him they don't have any vacancy. And he went away. 6 months after that, he got a pink letter from his own job. And then he called back in that place where he applied. And they said, yes, we actually wanted to call you yesterday. Come in and start on Monday. We already feel that we read your CV, your resume. You are the one that is well fitted for this job. I said, well, I applied for the job 6 months ago. You said somebody is still on the seat. They said, no, there's nobody on the seat. Come over here. When I applied to become a resident, I didn't even know I was going to get into that office. The person that was supposed to, they already promised him the position, but he had an emergency in Japan, had to fly to Japan to see his parents. And their chairman said this has to be filled within 24 hours. That day I woke up, I was going to go somewhere else. The Lord said, sit down and call. I called all the hospitals except one, which I called. They said, I never called this hospital because I don't feel people like me can ever get a job there. But the Lord said, call all the same. He diverted my position from going somewhere to this place. I was going to go to a far, I already bought my ticket to go far away looking for the job. But the Lord said, don't go nowhere. Sit in this house and call. And when I called, it was the first hospital I called out of the match. And they said, we don't have a position for you or for anyone, but send us your resume. I'm like, these are diametrically opposing things you're telling me. If you don't have a position, what do you need my resume for? They said, all the same, just we'll put it down. I said, well, if you're going to put it down, I'm not going to send anything to you. I only want to send my resume to people who will consider me. They said, that would be a mistake if you didn't fax it. He said, all the time, we constantly look just to be able to see who's going to be a good fit for our program. I sent the resume at 8 a.m. and by 12 noon, I got a call for an interview. It was on a Monday or Tuesday. They told me to come in for an interview on Thursday or Friday. It was 2 days in between. I went for the interview and I got the position. Right there. It wasn't like, go away, we'll call you. No, I got it right there. After 6 hours of interview, they finally gave me the position and they let me know that this position was only one that is available and it was because the person that they had promised the position had an emergency. See? And I waited for over a year to get that position. I was getting into a rotation for another year, making 2 years, homeless and jobless. The Lord works in unbelievable ways. He works miracles out of thin air. The best time for you is the best time for him. And Jesus' time is the best time. What does it say, that 2 Peter? Let's finish it.
The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some count slackness.
Yes.
But is long-suffering toward us.
It is. So that's what you have to imbibe. The spirit of long-sufferingness. Yes.
Not willing that any should persist.
You know some people will perish. Some people will perish because they are waiting. You know where you perish? Is when you sell your soul to the devil to get what you need. You know what the devil will do? The devil will calculate how many times you have left in your life. Hallelujah, listen to this. You have 30 years left, he'll give you that 30 years, he'll give you that thing for 3 years. Guess where you are going to spend the remaining 27 years? As a messenger in hell, being tormented every day. He'll give you for 3 years, and he'll take 27 years from you. The Lord will make you wait for 5 years, and he'll give you for 25 years, and add another 10 years on top of that. Which one is better? Hallelujah. So, be careful. The longer, the better. Yes, the spirit of long. Finish that, Carol.
Not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance.
He wants you to come to repentance, because unless you haven't come to repentance and crawl and ask him for what you need, you are not getting what you need. Because how can you be in sin and expect glory and grace of the Lord to persist? It doesn't happen. Yes.
The day of the Lord.
The day of the Lord.
But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the
And
night.
it comes when, and you know what? You know what? When it brings the joy. Joy is very fragmented. It's very, very easily fragmented. You know when you finally get the joy? Hallelujah. Who is in this place has been waiting for somebody? You've been waiting for something. And finally that thing comes. You don't know how to celebrate it. It looks like yesterday. It looks like a dream. Very fragmented. Very thin. You get it and you are like, oh my gosh. Is this what I've been waiting for? It looks to you like a dream. Word of God parish. The longer, the better. His wait makes sense. Waiting for the Lord makes sense. Jesus' time is the best. Hallelujah. He waited and suffered for you on the cross. Why can't you wait? What is a problem? He is able to demonstrate to us the spirit of long suffering on the cross. Why can't we emulate him and demonstrate back to him the spirit of long suffering? What is going on with us? Why can't we bear the pain? Why can't we stand the weight? What is it that makes us want to run and perform what is called instant gratification that will lead us to perish? Hallelujah. For whatever we're waiting, it will definitely be worth it. Whatever you are waiting for, it will definitely be worth it to wait at Jesus' time. Ecclesiastes 3 says what? Ecclesiastes 3, it says what? Verse 1 to 5.
There is an occasion for every. There's a time for everything.
There is a time for everything.
A time for every activity.
There is a time for every activity under the heaven. Do you see? A lot of people. So why are we so selfish? We think every time has to be our time. Hallelujah, Word of God parish. Every time cannot be your time. Every time is for a purpose. And when it's for your purpose, you will get what you need.
Amen.
Every time cannot be your time because every day is not Christmas. Yes.
A time to give birth, a time to die.
There is a time to be born and a time to die.
A time to plant.
A time to plant
And a time to,
and a time to pluck off
to uproot.
what is
A
planted.
time to kill.
A time to kill
And a
and
time
a
to
time
heal.
to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to cast away. A time to rent and a time to sow. A time to keep silent and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Patience is a virtue, and you have to bid your own time. Because the way the Lord regulates it, He regulates everything made with timing. And Psalm 27 verse 14 says what? Because I really want to preach today because, this is a perfect situation. Verse 14. 27 verse 14.
Wait on the Lord.
Wait on the Lord.
Be of good courage.
And be of good courage.
And he shall strengthen your heart.
And do you see? The longer you wait spiritually, I'm not talking about waiting in flesh. Waiting in flesh is when you condemn him, when you allow yourself to be swayed by people who don't know the Lord, when you look at ephemeral things and think superficially and not deep, and you can be easily pushed aside by the tide, by the wave, by the wind, just push you aside. And then before you know what's going on, you forget your ability to wait for the Lord. If you wait spiritually, He will what? Give you the courage. Hallelujah. What do you think I feel every day when I'm here and you guys are not yet here? What do you think I feel? I feel very desperate. I feel as if maybe the call is not worth it. And each time I go to the altar and I cry down there, I said, where are the people you gave me? One person will just come in. The time I'm thinking, and I'm like trying to scream right in front of the altar, then somebody else will come in. And then somebody else will come in, then I will shut up and just go start the service. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
It's worth the wait. Waiting for God with courage is worth the wait. Hallelujah. Now, Isaiah 40 verse 31 says what? I want to show you why it's worth it to wait. And to wait perfectly, and to wait on the Lord, and to wait with courage, and to wait spiritually.
But those who trust in the Lord,
Those who trust in the Lord,
will renew their strength.
they can renew their spirit.
They will soar on wings like
Do you see? You are going to fly on the wings of eagles.
They will run and not grow weary.
And they will run and not go weary.
They will walk and not faint.
And do you see? When you wait on the Lord, you will walk and not faint. Yes.
That's it.
And if you go to Psalm 37 verse 7 to 9, you'll be able to see what I'm saying again. Psalm 37 verse 7 to 9.
Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him.
Do you see? Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him.
Do not fret because of him who prospers in his way.
Do you see? Do not fret. Do not be disturbed. Because the one who is going to prosper in his way.
Because of the man who brings wicked schemes to pass.
Because of the one. Because that's the one. They bring wicked schemes to pass, you know. They come to approach you and say, why don't you do this, do this? Why don't you do that for the shortcut? Don't fret. Don't let that disturb you when you are waiting For people, when they come to you and say, do this. This is better. This is easier. Let me tell you one thing. Word of God Parish, there's nothing better than waiting for the Lord, than waiting on the Lord. There's no shortcuts. If anybody approaches you and says, take this shortcut, let's do this, let's do that, let's come up with this plan, tell them, get behind me, Satan. There's no shortcut than waiting for the Lord. Yes, Carol, finish it. 7 to 9.
Cease from anger and forsake wrath.
When you are waiting, cease from anger and forsake wrath.
Do not fret.
Do not fret. Do not be disturbed. Do not let your mind shake.
It only causes harm.
It only causes harm. You know what? I was watching a movie yesterday. They wanted to be very rich, and so they went to consult the oracle. And you know what? The people that consult the oracles for them didn't tell them what happens. Well, the oracle gave them a lot of wealth. People who were picking food from the dustbin, they were picking food from the dustbin. Suddenly they got cars, they got a home. One day, it took a ram. The second day, it took 3 rams. The first day, he said he wants 6 rams, and he told them how the rams should look. You should have polka red and white dots. You should have polka black and red dots. You should have polka patches of red, black, and red. How do you get that? Wordofgodparish. Why are you going to get such a ram? And he started to count down. He said, within 3 days, you don't give me that ram, then I'm going to take you. And really they couldn't find. They found 4. They found 5. The night before the countdown, he cheated them. Because he said 3 days, and they were working for 3 days. But when it was 2.5 days, they found 5. The second day, they were promised to come and get number 6. He took the first son. And he just disappeared and died in his bed. And then they went back to him. He was very angry that he gave them time and they did not make up the time. See, God's time is the best. You know, and before they knew what was going on, he took the wife and killed her. And before they know what is going on, the man, he was rolling on the floor. He didn't know what to say. And the oracle took the man. And then they showed us what would have happened if he had waited. What would have happened is, the night before they went to the oracle, that was the night the angels were bringing peace and good tidings to him. But because he went closely to the devil, because he went closely and quickly to the devil, he could not meet his destiny. His destiny was to be rich and have a long life. But his destiny to the devil was to be short-lived and have nothing that he could pass on to any of his offsprings. Let me tell you, God's time is always the best. God's time is worth waiting for. God's time is the best time. It is the only time that is worth, and it will be worth it if you decide to wait. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Now, finish that.
For evildoers
shall
be cut off.
They shall be cut off.
But those who wait on the Lord,
For those who wait on the Lord,
they shall inherit the earth.
they shall inherit the earth. Do you see? For those who wait on what? On the Lord, they will what? Inherit the earth. Do you see? Now see why it's important to wait on the Lord. Because if you wait on the Lord, you will what? Inherit the earth. Hallelujah. Habakkuk 2 verse 3.
What is it?
Habakkuk 2 verse 3. Habakkuk 2 verse 3.
For the vision is yet for an appointed time.
For the vision is yet for an appointed time.
But at the end it will speak.
And at the end, that appointed time will speak.
And it will not lie.
And you know what? When it speaks, it will not lie.
Though it tarries, wait for it.
And it tarries. Do you see the English? It tarries, meaning that it can be slow. And what does the Bible say? It says, when it tarries, you have to wait for it. Hallelujah. So, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. So there is going to be an appointed time. The wait time is the appointed time. The appointed time is the time of God. The appointed time is going to be worth it if you wait for it spiritually. Hallelujah. And it says, at the end, goodness shall speak. Right? And it will not lie. Do you see? If you wait, it will speak and it will not lie. And when it speaks about good things and it does not lie. Though it may tarry, you know, so it may look as if it's not going fast because it may wait a little while. But don't worry, it will surely come. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And when it comes, it will bring good things to you.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Now, if you look at that Psalm 37 again, let's go to that Psalm 37. Psalm 37, I think it's 34. 37, 34.
Wait for the Lord. And keep his way. He will exalt
and he shall exalt thee
to inherit the land.
Do you see? So we are clear. Do you now see? For people who don't know how to wait, he says when you wait on the Lord, you will what? You will inherit the land. When you wait on the Lord, you will inherit your peace. When you wait on the Lord, you will inherit your joy. When you wait on the Lord, you will inherit your happiness and blessing.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
You will watch when the wicked are destroyed.
You will now just see those people who don't wait, you will see how they are destroyed. 1 John 3:2. What does it say? We're getting to that point. 1 John 3:2. 1 John 3:2.
Dear friends.
Dear friends.
We are God's children now.
We are God's children.
And what we will.
And what we will.
Has not yet been revealed.
What we are going to be, what we are, has not yet been revealed. Yes.
We know that when he appears.
Know that when he appears.
We will be like him.
You will definitely be like him.
Because we will see him as he is.
Because we will be able to see him as he is.
And everyone who has this hope in him.
And this hope, if you have this hope in him.
Purifies himself as just.
You will purify yourself as just.
Pure.
And you will see what?
He's pure.
He's pure. Hallelujah. So waiting is so important. And waiting for the Lord is the best thing you are going to do. Psalm 69 verse 6. What does it say? Psalm 69 verse 6.
Let not those who wait for you, O Lord of hosts, be ashamed because of me.
Let those who wait for you, do not let them be ashamed. 69 verse 6, right?
Right.
Okay.
Let not those who seek you be confounded because of me.
Let those who seek you, let them not be confounded because of me, O God of Israel.
Because for your sake,
I
have borne reproach,
yes,
and shame,
shame.
on my face.
Even when you have shame, when you have reproach, when you are unhappy, still does what? Wait for the Lord. When you wait for the Lord, there is something fantastic in that. Job 14:14. What does it say? Job 14:14. Job 14:14.
If a man dies,
If a man dies,
shall he live again?
shall he live again?
All the days of my heart.
All the days of my life,
I will wait
I will wait.
till my change comes.
Oh my God, that is where you need to be. Do you see? Who else has been punished by the devil more than Job? There's nobody in this whole Bible that has been punished by the devil more than Job. And read that again.
If a man dies,
If a man dies,
shall he live again?
can he live again? He's appealing to God and say, if I die, do you think I'm going to live again? This suffering is too much. This punishment is too much. Do you think if I die, I'm able to live again? Yes.
All the days of my
And then it's,
I will wait.
and it says, I don't care about that. Even if I die, I don't care. All the days of my life, I'm going to do what?
Wait.
I'm going to wait.
Until my relief comes.
Till my change comes.
Until my change comes, until my Redeemer comes. Do you now see? Okay, so my sermon today is all about waiting on the Lord. That waiting is the best thing you are going to do. Waiting for Jesus is the title of the sermon. Waiting for Jesus is the best thing you are going to do. It's the best thing you are going to do. It all pays to wait for Jesus. Because Jesus' clock is Jesus' time. Jesus' time is heavenly time. Heavenly time is the glorious time. The glorious time is the perfect time. The perfect time is the best time for you. Any other time is a counterfeit. Every other time is lame and stupid. Wait for that time. If you wait when you are up, God will bless you. If you wait when you are down, God will bless you. You will see your victory. Because it says, he who waits on the Lord waits to inherit the world. You give me the whole expanse of the world, just wait for him. Remember that he doesn't want to suffer you because his timing is different. His 1,000 days to you is 1 day to him. That is why we have a problem. Because to him, it's just a blink of an eye. It's a microsecond. Those microseconds can be 3 or 4 years to you. Because think about it. Half a day to the Lord is 500 days to you.
5 years.
500 years to you. You're right. Because 1 day is 1,000 years. 1 day is just 1 day. To you is 1,000 years. So half a day is 500 years. That's huge for you to understand that math. If you understand that math, you can understand what it means by long suffering, by waiting on the Lord, by not throwing your hands up, because tomorrow will indeed be better.
Amen.
And if you do it and wait for him, when he does it completely. When he heals perfectly. When the Lord heals, he heals completely. When he gives completely. When he blesses completely. There's nothing that the Lord does have. Anything that you see, or glory, or gift that you have, that is half and half, is not from the Lord. When he blesses you totally and completely. Hallelujah. When he gives you, in my language, when he gives you a white clothes, in order for it not to be dirty, he'll give you the dye to dye it.
The bleach.
Or the bleach.
Yep.
Either of it. When he gives you the bleach or the dye. Hallelujah. And when he makes you bald, he gives you the beard to complement it. Waiting on the Lord is the most important thing that you are going to do. It's going to be worth it. It is worth it. And it is the right thing to do. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Drive away all the scoffers. Because you're going to be discouraged. You're going to be troubled by people who come in and say, why are you waiting? Why are you going to church? What are you getting from it? Aren't you so stupid? You go all these years, you are not getting anything, but you don't know that you don't own your life. You have no idea who controls people. People are vaping. and they are not waking up. You know, they vape and they don't wake up. You know, so you talk to somebody today, tomorrow you don't see him anymore. Because, you know, just a tiny little thing that they think is a tiny little thing is killing them. It takes a vapor to take your life away. And when it still maintains you in this planet, and you are saying it's not doing something for you, then you are in trouble already, because you're still here. That's the biggest present you are going to get. Tell me, who can add 1 extra minute to his life? Can you add extra 1 second to your life? So, okay, so if you don't have food, you don't have water, you don't have money, you don't have clothes, you don't have shoes, which one is more important? Those shoes or your life. He who gives you life knows that he's going to give you shoes. He who gives you life knows he's going to clothe you. Wait for your time. Because it is not important that you are looking for shoes when your life is riddled with cancer. Tell me somebody who has a cancer diagnosis in the hospital or hospice who is worrying about shoes. Tell me. Because it's not helping us, it's not doing anything for us, but it's maintaining your life. That is the biggest present that the Almighty can do for you. My talk to you, my sermon to you today is to let you know it is worth it to wait for the Lord. It is worth it to wait on the Lord. Waiting on the Lord is the biggest thing that you are required to do as a Christian. And you wait on him when you are down, when you are frightened, when you are disturbed, when you are homeless, when you are apprehensive, when life has come to a zero, when you don't have hope, when your life is tired, when things are down, when you are in pain, when you are in distress, when you have no money, when there are calamities coming, at the risk of your life, you're still going to wait on the Lord. And that is what it takes to receive bountifully from the Lord. And this is the word of God. And the Lord will bless you. You shall be well with you in the name of Jesus. For you listening to us on YouTube, it is worth it to wait for the Lord. Hannah waited 70 years to have Samuel. And Sarah waited almost 90 years to have Isaac. Why can't you wait?